Hey guys, welcome back. As you know, I'm building the awesome Eleanor Mustang from Eaglemoss, the 1/8 scale. Every 21 days I post a video every time I get a pack and work my way through it. If you've been following along, you'll know that the engine, so far the parts you get is a little lackluster and inaccurate, and it kind of looks crappy, to be honest with you. The major flaw of the kit. So this video is like a bonus video. I'm basically going to take this and some other parts I just acquired and switch it up and make it look a lot better. So I'm going through some steps, how I paint it all and stuff, and get the new one done. Shouldn't be too long a video, but let's go ahead and get started. Hey guys, welcome back. So firstly, I'm still recovering from that cold. I know it's crazy, it's like 95 degrees, but I've got a head cold and a sore throat and stuff, so I'm sounding a little nasally and my eyes are a little bit glossed over, that's why. But we'll get through this video nonetheless. Quick housekeeping before we get started. If you notice, on all my cards and my video titles, I've changed it from Eleanor Mustang to the Gone in 60 Seconds, just because apparently it's been really weird, like lawyers and stuff, with anything on YouTube with Eleanor, like listed as a video. They've been pulling channels, been cutting things down, like people had issues with like legal, like copyright infringements and stuff. So just keep the channel safe and not get strikes and stuff. I did change all my names to Gone in 60 Seconds instead of Eleanor. I know it's kind of sucks, but just protect the channel. So if you're wondering why we changed all titles, that's why I did. That's why I did that. And moving forward, that's the title all my cards and my videos will have on the channel. So if you subscribe like I have and you got this part, which you're very disappointed in because it's not accurate and it's kind of crap, to be honest with you, and you're paying all this money, you know, hundreds, well, thousands of dollars for an awesome kit, and you get this, it's a little disappointing. So I'm going to walk through how I'm going to fix this. So the main thing is, I reached out to Deagostini, and they brought out a GT-500 Shelby, about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and you can still get parts for it. I'm looking at some of these parts. I think it's probably made in the same factory. To be honest with you, I think all these part works are made in the same factory or 2 factories in China and just get branded different things. So I saw some parts, and what you need to do is you need to get, you need to go to, well, I'm fortunate because I think you can't get them in the US, but I got them from the UK. So you go to eBay and just search and set and wait and be patient, or you can go to Deagostini in England or the UK and go to customer service and email them and say, hey, I need, I just emailed them and said, hey, I need part number 3 of the GT500 build. And no questions asked. They sent you a PayPal link, say it has to go to UK address. Just pay $12.99 and we'll ship it straight out to you. So I paid $12.99 PayPal and I put in an English address. I live in the US, but I'm British, I'm from England, and my sister still lives in England, so I put her address down, and within a week, she had the package to her doorstep, $12.99, free shipping. So she had it, and then she just forwarded it on to me here in the US, which costs a lot more. It cost me like £16, so it cost me like another $20 in shipping from the UK. So it cost me more in shipping from the UK, but it actually get the parts in for themselves. So I got the parts, and if I show you this, they wouldn't fall out probably, but you can kind of see this is what you get. So this guy right here is exactly the same as the Eaglemoss part, so you know it's going to fit. But then if you look at these cylinder covers, is it cylinder heads? I think my mind's got blank what they're called. But anyway, if you look at these, they have the cool Cobra, and it's solid metal, compared to this, which is like a piece of blank. So this, I think the holes are the same point, and that's like just a drill straight on. So these match, and then the air filter, again, is way bigger, and this has a stupid Eleanor thing, and I think it's part of licensing, but this is a lot bigger, it has a Cobra on it. And again, the same holes, so it should just fit on the same spot, but it looks way better. So that's what we're going to do, change those parts out. But the thing with this is, these parts actually in real life aren't just silver, they're actually black with silver stripes and markings. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. I'm going to hopefully do it the easy way. So I see here, I sprayed actually blow black paint on here, so I tried it just make sure it worked before I did the video. So the hard way would be to paint it black, and then very carefully with a silver, like Molotow, like one of these guys maybe, like a liquid chrome pen, Molotow, would be to go then painstakingly go over every line and kind of draw it all in, and then that raised detail, paint it silver on top of the black. Or you can do it the other way, which I'm going to do, which I'm going to spray it all black, and then with a sander, a very soft sanding, this is a Florid Models sanding sponge. I'm just going to then, I'm going to paint it all black, and I'm just going to lightly sand it. I'm going to sand the paint off, and then all the raised parts will then hopefully will be revealed as perfectly silver underneath. Because we're not going to, hopefully we won't touch the material underneath it, we're just going to take off the black paint. So that's the plan. Like I said, I tried it with this little part here, and it did seem to work pretty good. If you can see that on the camera, you see how I sprayed all black, and then I sanded that part, and you can see how it's silver. So hopefully if I spray the whole thing black, and again, just rub the whole thing with this guy, maybe 10 minutes afterwards when the paint fully dries, we can get rid of all that and just leave the black behind. So fingers crossed we'll try that. So we've got 3 parts we need to do. We do both of these guys. Sorry. So we're gonna do both of these guys, and we're gonna do this guy. The whole thing actually gonna be black, so I'm just gonna put this together, assemble it all as one unit, and then paint it all black, and then we'll sand it off. So that's what we're gonna do. So seems pretty straightforward, but we'll see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear all this stuff away. I'm gonna get the spray booth. I do have an airbrush. I'm gonna airbrush it on. I don't know if you guys have an airbrush, but it'll make a big difference. And I'm gonna use Mr. Service 1500, but I'll show you black, but I'll show you that in a minute. So let me clear this away. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here we go on the close-up camera. So again, this isn't good. You know, it doesn't look good. So we're gonna put this aside. I was actually gonna put the components onto this piece right here, but I thought, you know what? Let's just use the whole box here. Use this guy instead. So we'll just use this and do a fresh one. And it's, if you look at the pins, you got the exact same spot. So cool. So how this goes is this goes on the right side as it's facing me, and it comes sandwiches like that. Now this bit for the middle is actually silver, so I'm just going to leave this as is and take it out. I'm going to paint these parts. Also, because I'm painting this too, you see there's a few little like imperfections, like attachment points and stuff. Might want to sand down, like here. So I'm going to take a sanding stick if I can find one. There we go. Here we go. So, for example, like this guy right here. See what's been cut off on the factory. I'm going to take my sanding stick. And we're painting this anyway, so I don't care about taking the chrome finish off it. And just sand it down and make it, you know, more pleasing to look at. Okay, cool. Is there anything on this one? Yeah, there's one here too, see? You can use a nail file, or I guess a little sandpaper, although just gently, you know, this isn't crazy grit, this is very smooth. Just again cleaning it up, get an attachment point. That's good. I'll leave this as is because I don't want to strip anything from that. And then, so we're going to paint those 2 parts, and we're going to paint these 2 parts, which is metal too. This looks actually really good. Cool. So we're going to paint these 4 parts black. You can reuse any kind of modeling black paint, I guess. I'm going to use Mr. Servicer 1500 Black by Mr. Hobbies. It's actually a priming or micro servicer. I just like this, the finish it gives. It gives like almost like a satiny, matte satin kind of look. I would, if not, maybe I'd use like Tamiya XF1 possibly, or like an LP5, which is a lacquer semi-gloss. But I'm going to go with this guy, and that's what I tested with this one right here. So I think it's going to come out really good. So I'm going to go ahead and spray booth. I'm going to paint all these with this Mr. Servicer 1500 Black. I do thin this with their lacquer thinner, about 50-50. I'm using rapid dry thinner right now, which let me show that. Thinned with this guy, the rapid thinner, it just it makes it almost dry instantly. So in 5 minutes we're good to go with sanding this. So let me go ahead and set the airbrush up. I'll get these painted real quick and we'll come right back. Right, I did wander ahead, just made sure it worked, and it came out great. So you can see there how good it came out, the metal shining underneath the black. And this is how it's done when it's painted. So we paint the whole thing black. So I just did one just to make sure it worked before I made a fool of myself on the camera. Now I'm coming back with a sanding stick. I started very smooth, but I think you'd be a little bit more aggressive with this. So this is a blue medium sanding stick. So I'm just going to basically sand over the parts which should be silver. So with a sanding stick, I'm just literally just going to do this. And you can see as easy as that, it just removes the paint. Kind of like reverse dry brushing, I guess. And the paint's a little thicker, just takes a little bit more work. Again, you want to do this pretty quickly, so I just sprayed this literally 5 minutes ago. You don't leave it overnight, the paint for like really kind of etch into the metal, because it'd be a nightmare to sand off. So just doing it like this, and then we're going to polish it up in a minute. So again, just getting all that paint off. And just coming up a lot easier with this coarser sanding stick. I was trying a real smooth one to start with, and it's taking me forever. Now I got a smaller one, just get in here and get the leathers done. And like that, you can see they're starting to appear. Just going over the raised detail. So all you're literally going over, gently going over the raised detail and sanding the paint off.
to leave the black paint underneath. See, it's not taking a ton of skill in, and you're leaving the black still on the sides there, so you just, all you're doing here is the top raised big parts. I mean, it's not taking a ton of skill, just make sure you get all that paint off. There you go, see how the angle, how shiny it looks now? Hard time getting the B down on the Cobra. Alright. Again, doing different angles to make sure we get that paint off. And back with my smaller one. And see, this is way easier than trying to paint all this crazy little letters and stuff. Well, for me anyway, because I'm terrible with a paintbrush. Okay, and finally with a sponge, just kind of buff it up. I'll go over this one more time, just kind of, you know, not 100% happy with it, but there you get the idea. And there you see the Cobra's raised, the black sides, and the top. And same deal with this guy. Just going to take my sanding stick and over the raised detail, which I might need to be a little more careful with this one. This one's plastic as well, not metal. But same principle. I'm going to go off camera and do this, and I'll finish this one off. I'm not quite happy with that one. Needs a little bit more work, but you get the idea. So I'm basically going to carry on sanding, working on these, and I'll be right back. Alright, next I'm taking my attention to these carburetors, which have these massive stonking seam lines down, which shouldn't be there. Again, plastic parts, crappy quality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some putty, perfect plastic putty, or you can use the Tamiya putty, whatever your favorite is. I like this because it's water soluble. So I'm just going to, with a toothpick right here, I'm just going to put a little bit on the end, and then I'm literally just going to smear it over this like seam line right here, which sucks. And this is such a gnarly one, it might need a few applications. So again, I can run it across the top here. Sorry, I'm kind of off camera a little bit there. Yeah, these seam lines suck. Okay, so that's that one done. God, this cold's kicking my ass. Hopefully soon it passes. I think wearing masks and stuff, I've not got sick in quite a while, so now all the allergies and stuff are out. Okay. That side's done. Cool, quite a healthy bit there. So I'm just going to do that like that. I'm going to leave it dry for about 5 minutes and we'll come right back. Right, so carburetors are done. So I added a little putty, sanded it off. I primed them in black, the same Mr. Surfacer Black 1500 I used for the component paints we used earlier on and the rest of the components. After that, after black, I sprayed it with some LP11, which is silver. Lacquer paint, Tamiya. I'm just telling you these paints I'm using. I mean, they're pretty generic colors. You can use whatever modeling paints you have, I guess. But for me, I have these. This is what I use, and this is what I use for my modeling. So LP11, which is silver, and I got this result. I'm just sure the camera's not focusing very good right now. But okay, so you got this. They're looking really good. Not 100% seamless. I could go back over again and do a little bit more work. But to be honest, I think I'm good with what they are. They're compared to this. So if you look at this giant, like, you know, seams and stuff. Compared to this, it does look 100 times better, right? Cool, so I did those, and now I'm really kind of put this whole thing together. So I'm going to put this together. I painted and taken care of the rest of the stuff, and then I can kind of go through that in a minute. So let me screw these on, I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm done. And look how cool it's looking. I'm really happy how it turned out. Just a few hours work, you know, last night and this morning. Looking really good, and certainly definitely a big improvement from what you get. So you get this, and now we're going to throw this in the engine. I think you agree this one looks much better, right? So we talked obviously how we did these guys. Top part is plastic, these are metal. So it didn't really work, the sanding thing, it didn't look right. So in the end, obviously it's painted black. So instead of sanding to reveal silver plastic underneath, I just painted it using Vallejo Model Air. So Model Air is great for hand painting. This is silver 71063. And using a flat brush, actually this guy right here, I just carefully just painted the top, and it's pretty simple. Just picked out the raised details, basically, almost dry brushing it. Just kind of painted around the edge, and took care of that. So let that dry for a little bit, and I came back with a clear gloss coat of LP9 Tamiya, mixed 50-50 with lacquer thinner, or maybe actually more, maybe about 60% lacquer thinner. Sprayed all on to give that real sheen, which looks really good. Really happy how this turned out. So that's how I did that part. Now, the other thing I noticed too is the actual side, the filter itself in here is if you look on the reference pictures and stuff, it's actually kind of like a paper-based filter, but on the kit it's silver plastic. So I painted it white. Now with scale modeling, you should never paint like pure blacks or pure whites. You should always take it off a shade. So this is XF2 Tamiya white and off-white. What I do is add a couple of drops of buff to it. And just what it does is, it doesn't get that stark, bright white. See how it's like slightly off? It looks more natural to a scale, more like realistic. So that's what I use. I sprayed that on, obviously painted it separately, which is really easy. And then I just sandwiched it together once it's dry. And finally what I did was add a black wash just to kind of pick out some detail there to the filter. And the black wash I used was Flory Models black clay. It's a clay-based wash. I put it into a little cup like this and added about 50% water just to thin it down, because being black, I didn't want to coat the whole thing and make the whole thing black. I just want to pick out a few little details. So thinned it down, brushed it on with a brush just around the edges, and then left it 10-15 minutes to dry, and then came back with a Q-tip and just wiped away excess. No problem at all, and left kind of cool, like, a little bit of grime in there and dirt and stuff. You see how it looks more realistic, but yeah, really happy how it turned out. So the only thing I note too is, some reason this part of the kit, you only get one filter cap. So I guess there's one on here, so I can just take this one off and it'll fit, I think. You might need a bit of glue. I think it's slightly different size. Let me see. But yeah, you see that if that does go down, I'm sure it's a cap on each side, but I do have that obviously to take it from this one if need be. But there we go. So again, this is what you get with a kit, which is for me very substandard, and this is what I'm going to end up with. And the pieces are exactly the same here. The top of the intake manifold here, this big silver metal piece, the attachment's exactly the same size and everything, so I should be able to slot this one right in when we get to that part of the build. So yeah, there you go. There's the two of them side by side. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if so, please consider subscribing and liking and all that kind of jazz. And again, this is Richie from RW Hobbies, and until next time, see you later. Goodbye.